A long time ago, we used to be friends with a marshmallow called Veronica Mars. Hi everyone, it's me, Ben Elmaden, and welcome to Entertainment Zone. I'm thrilled to be here today for my review of Veronica Mars. The Veronica Mars movie is actually here. It's quite surreal. The show ended 8 years ago now, would you believe? 8 years ago. And this time last year, the Kickstarter was just launching, and then 9 months ago, I was at the panel and the autograph signing at Comic-Con and the San Diego Evening Backers event. And I met, Percy Daggs and Francis Capra on set in LA the week after Comic-Con. And now I'm here having seen the movie. How quickly it's all happened in the last year. I'm proud to be one of the 91,585 backers. And this film really delivers for the fans, for the marshmallows. Rob Thomas has written and directed the movie, and it's got a really sleek visual style, looks great, and it's full of Thomas's unique dialogue that we expect of him. He writes in such an incredibly well-written, unique, talented way, and especially with characters like Veronica and her sharp wit, it's on top form as ever. As characters like Dick Casablancas with his comedy, he's got some great one-liners in this film. But it is a labour of love for the fans. The fans are definitely going to get the most out of it. That's not to say that non-fans won't enjoy it. Now, I saw the movie last night, opening night. I had to resist watching it, on iTunes all day. But the cinema here in the UK was near enough full, and there's a really big mix of backers and new fans and non-fans, and everybody seemed to come out of the cinema really enjoying it. So there is something there for everyone. However, are you a fan of the series? There's obviously going to be more. There's going to be little nods to past things that you'll pick up on, and little Easter eggs. But if you aren't a fan, not knowing about these things is not going to impact your enjoyment of the movie. In terms of the characters in the film, some do have more screen time than others. Veronica obviously going to have a lot more screen time, and I'd say Logan, Keith and Piz all get a good share of the screen time too. The film really does look at Veronica's relationship with her dad, Keith, and it also addresses the Team Logan, Team Piz battle that's going on for Veronica's heart, and there is an outcome to that in the end of the movie. You'll be happy to know. One team's going to be happy, the other not so much, but you have to find out. But as I say, some characters are more prominent than others. Characters like Wallace, Mack and Weevil, they don't get as much screen time as the others. However, we do get to see enough of them to see what they're up to, what they have been up to, and how their lives have progressed, and how their friendship is with Veronica now. And it's really sweet. It really is. So the film sees Veronica returning to Neptune to try and help Logan find a good lawyer when he's accused of murdering his girlfriend. Logan being accused of murder again. But when Veronica gets back to Neptune, she soon realises there's more to this than meets the eye, and so she decides to hang around and try and look into the case herself, much to Keith's, her dad's, dismay. The film also has a lot of returning characters like Gia, Luke, Madison. There's so many. And we get a lot of cool new characters too. Ones that really stuck in my mind were Ruby Jetson. She was a real cool character. I'm not going to say too much about that character. You'll know her when you see it, but she's awesome. And the late Don Lamb's brother, Dan Lamb, he's the new sheriff played by Jerry O'Connell, and he's just as corrupt as his brother. The corrupt sheriff's department really has a theme in the film. It's a very much a subplot to the movie. How the corruption and class war in Neptune is as rife as ever. There's other new characters in there too, but some of them don't really get the time to have much character development. One being Martin Starr's character Cobb. He was an interesting character, but I didn't feel like we got the time to get to know him as much as we could have. And the film also has a lot of great cameos in it. There's a mid-credit scene which is hilarious. You've got to stick around. I'm not going to say too much about it. And if you stay till the very end of the credits, there's another little surprise. Not a scene, but something to listen to. And fans of the series will really get a kick out of that. The film was great. It's as near enough to perfect as Rob and Kristen and all the gang could have delivered, you know. It has a good mystery. Without spoiling it, the reveal of the killer and, you know, what happened, I don't want to say it was obvious. I had an inclination that it was going to go down that line. So it wasn't... so in one respect, I kind of had a feeling it was coming. But when it was further explained upon, I was pretty impressed with the resolution of the storyline. But Veronica Mars hasn't lost its humour either. It really has got a lot of laughs in this film, and as I said, it near enough is perfect. And as well as the comedy, the film also has some very dark moments, some moments that really make you jump. Literally, I jumped out of my seat a couple of times, and there's some real big shockers and sad moments in there too. Honestly, the film really has got it all. The cast all on top form. Rob Thomas knows how to cast, and Kristen Bell, fantastic as Veronica. Jason Dohring as Logan, great. And Enrico Colantoni as Keith Mars. Gotta give him a shout out. He is just epic. He really is. So it was a perfect film. And as I say, a labour of love for the fans. And every marshmallow is going to get a kick out of this, and I'm just so proud to have been a part of this last year and shaping Veronica Mars into what it's become. You know, me and every other backer out there, we should be proud of ourselves because we've helped make this in our own way. And Rob and Ivan and Kristen and all the cast and crew, you should be proud of yourselves too. You've done us proud, and of course, the story is going to continue in the book coming out soon, so look out for that. And who knows, will there be more sequels? Quite possibly. So I'm going to wrap it up here for my review. I'm going to talk about a few spoilers now, so if you haven't seen the Veronica Mars movie, please start watching now. Okay, so let's start off the spoiler talk. I'll go straight to the resolution of the murder. I had a feeling that even before going into the film that Gia Goodman would be something to do with it, purely because of how Kristen Ritter was popping up everywhere on behind the scenes stuff, on posters, and I thought, yeah, Gia, and she's, without sounding awful, Gia is more of an expendable character than the other core characters, so that kind of had a place in my mind. And going into the film, it did amplify that feeling more. However, I wasn't expecting the twists and turns about, you know, Susan Knight's death with a drug overdose and the big cover-up there, or that Cobb would be the one that is controlling the situation, and that it was him who killed off Carrie or Bonnie DeVille, and that came as a shock to me. It was a good twist, and I'm glad Rob went for it. As I said, I felt Cobb wasn't really developed as a character. I think had Cobb been developed more, it would have had more of an impact when he was revealed to be the true killer. However, the twist worked, and under the time constraints of the movie, I understand why they didn't really go down that route. But it's a minor quibble, because, as I say, for me the movie was near enough perfect. It was done exactly how I hoped it would be done. I was shocked by the deaths of Deputy Sachs. I knew the car crash was going to happen, having read about it in Entertainment Weekly, but they didn't mention who was going to bite the dust, and I never even thought for a moment it would be Sachs. And even though he's not a major player, it really hit me hard. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe he's gone. And I was worried for Keith too. I thought after the almost Keith death in the season 2 finale, I thought, oh my god, are they really going to go there now? So I was worried. And the same when Celeste Kane shot Weevil. Now, that scene was filmed on the very last day of filming. I know this because I was by the Mars Investigation set, and I'd met Francis then. Obviously, I didn't know what they were going to be off filming, but he was in the attire that he was in for that scene, dressed up in that, and a lot of the PCH extras were around on set. And a security guard may have told me that Celeste Kane was, the actress who plays Celeste Kane was on set. Now, I've been sat on that for 9 months. I haven't told anybody about that because I didn't know whether it would have an impact on the resolution of the movie. So I thought, no, I've got to keep that to myself because it could be a big spoiler. So it was a nice cameo by the character of Celeste Kane, but I can't help but being left thinking, is it setting up more for the sequel? Celeste Kane was there, and then we have Matt going off to work for Kane Software. I can't help but feeling we're getting a slow build up to maybe the return of the Kanes in some way. If Veronica Mars comes back as a series, another film, or just finishes off in books now. But I feel like that cameo has more to it than meets the eye, as well as being a scene to show the corruption of the sheriff's department by setting up Weevil. But and I really feared for Weevil because he's a great character, and Francis Capra is one of the nicest people you can meet, and I was really worried. So thankfully, he didn't bite the dust. The James Franco cameo was genius, really well done, as was his mid-credit scene. And the Logan voicemail at the very end of the credits, perfect. Honestly, the film really did have it all. And I am Team Piz. I was hoping Veronica would see sense that, he's a good guy, he can provide for her. I thought maybe Piz could go back to Neptune with her. Because I've always thought Logan would be the kind of person who would drag Veronica down with him. The film ends up with Veronica deciding to ditch her new life in New York and come back to Neptune. However, she gets together with Logan, but he has to go off because he's with the armed forces now, and he has to go away for, I think he said 180 days, so like 6 months. So it's a real test of their relationship at the end of the movie, but I couldn't help but being very accepting of it because Logan has really turned his life around. He's got over his parent issues, and everything that's happened, both with his dad and Lily and his mom, and everything that's ever happened to him. He seems to have really turned his life around. So if Logan stays the way he's been in this film, I very much approve of Veronica being with him. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up now, guys. As I said, I'm thrilled to have been a part of this. A big well done to everybody involved. And whether you've seen the TV series or not, please go and see the Veronica Mars movie. You won't regret it. Okay, so if you have seen the movie, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought. And for the latest movie news and reviews, be sure to subscribe. I'll talk to you soon, guys. Take care.